Today we launched another addition to our crime-fighting technology capabilities. As you know, 2015, there's going to be more happening in the area of technology than in the whole history of the NYPD put together this year. A high-tech vehicle to help our Crime Stoppers program, something that's been tremendously successful for many years in this city. Over 5,200 cases have been solved so far, with over $2 million in reward money from the Police Foundation has been paid through this program to date. The program has been a true collaboration between the NYPD, the media, you certainly, who have helped to spread their messages, and the citizens of New York. And today, Crime Stoppers has a new and improved tool for helping our Detective Bureau solve crimes with the assistance of the community. Detective Bob Boyce, Chief of Detectives Bob Boyce is here, and he'll be up in a few moments to talk about some of the cases they're currently actively investigating. Thanks to the Police Foundation, and in particular to the generosity of board member Clyde Brownstone, this high-tech van, complete with external video screens, will allow our Crime Stoppers investigators to get updated information on suspects directly to the public in the very area where the crimes occur. This van will show up at significant crime scenes and, working with us, help to push out information very quickly on crime information that's available at that time to the public. In a few moments, Chief of Detectives Bob Boyce will brief you on 4 recent cases from right here in Manhattan North and show you photos and videos of suspects wanted in connection with these crimes: 2 robberies, a burglary pattern, and an attempted abduction. As I've stated many times over the past 16 months, technology has changed the way policing is done in this city and across the country. Between our extensive integrated camera systems, license plate readers, facial recognition, and soon to be distributed smartphones and tablets, 35,000 smartphones, 6,000 tablets, the NYPD is becoming one of the most technologically advanced departments in the nation. I shouldn't say is becoming, it will be the most advanced in the country. In my daily crime briefings at headquarters, more often than not, there is video footage of the crime itself, of information from facial recognition, of information from any of the various domain awareness technology systems that we have on the suspect's activity before or after the incident. And thanks to you and the media, you very frequently assist us showing these videos, showing these. This morning you were very helpful. A number of the stations were broadcasting a burglary pattern that we've been having in Brooklyn. Suspect involved in 9 of those events and using some of the video footage, so we're very appreciative of the partnership with you getting that word out. Now, by incorporating a video system in the van, Crime Stoppers has the capability to bring these images back to the very neighborhoods where these crimes happen. But the technology is only one part of the solution of the crime. The video is no help unless someone sees it and says something. Your city, your call. That we need partnership, we need collaboration, we need cooperation from the citizens in this city. It's a takeoff on the See Something campaign that we use for counterterrorism. The Crime Stoppers program allows for confidential tips to the NYPD, and I emphasize that, confidential tips to the NYPD. Callers can remain anonymous and still receive cash rewards for their help. This shared responsibility has been a huge success, and this new addition of our Crime Stoppers toolbox will help to continue the good work of our Detective Bureau in solving crime throughout the city. And the Detective Bureau, as the Chief is quite proud of, has a very good clearance record among some of the best in the nation. On behalf of the NYPD, I want to thank the Police Foundation for their continuous support and to recognize the contributions of BBDO and Infor for their assistance in the Crime Stoppers advertising and website campaigns. With that, I'd like to introduce to you Susan Birnbaum. Susan is the president of the Police Foundation, somebody that we in the police department are very pleased to work very closely with. Susan? Thank you.
Thank you, Police Commissioner Bratton. And I want to thank Clyde Brownstone, who's here behind us, for making this van a reality. And I also would like to thank Charles Phillips and Infor. Charles is one of our trustees, and Jeff Osborne and BBDO, who's here, who's been acknowledged, as well as the NYPD for all of your work on the Crime Stoppers campaign. The New York City Police Foundation has the ability to invest in innovative programs that help the NYPD meet the needs of modern policing, keeping the NYPD on the cutting edge. And this van is an example of the Foundation's commitment to ensuring that the NYPD has the best equipment and technology available to keeping New York City safe. To date, Crime Stoppers has been one of our most successful programs, with over 5,200 crimes being solved, 1,400 of them murders, and they come in through our anonymous tip line We've paid out over $1.8 million in rewards. But we need you, the members of the public, to continue to make the program successful. The participation of the public is key to the success of the program. Since the inception, the Police Foundation has invested over $120 million in over 400 programs in addition to Crime Stoppers, including counterterrorism programs, scholarship programs, training, gun stop, and of course investing in the technology for the police department. And the New York City Police Foundation looks forward to our continued work with Police Commissioner Bratton and the NYPD to ensure that New York remains the safest large city in the world. Thank you very much.
With that, I'd like to ask Chief of Detectives Bob Boyce to come up and talk about some of the cases that his detectives are currently working on, and that hopefully you and community leaders and activists over here might help us to solve some of these cases. Bob?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, excuse me. We have 4 images that we'd like to put out of crimes that happened in this community. We specifically put them out prior to this. We'd like to reinforce them by bringing them out in this van into the community that they serve. The first one I'm going to show is a shooting, a non-fatal shooting on a 125 West 116th Street. We can show that. This happened at 3:15 p.m. on May 6th. I'm going to show you the image of a young male wearing a red shirt as he walks by. He is wanted for a non-fatal shooting on that date. Bear in mind, this is after school. That individual right there in the front. We're seeking the public's help with 6 individuals who shot another individual on that corner. They are all young males, and we're going to show you a couple more slides of it. There you go. That's 6 images of people we wanted to talk to. One, we want to make an arrest on for shooting that happened on that day at 3:15 p.m. The next individual, we have a Vincent Suarez. Can you show that, please? He did a shooting at 1980 7th Avenue on May 8th. We're seeking him right now. He's been identified. We're asking the public's help with anything we can find where he might be. He has 16 prior arrests. We consider him a danger to the community. We'd like anybody who sees him not to approach him, to immediately call 911. Next image, please. This young lady here, we believe is an attempted abduction in Heckscher Playground. It happened on May 14th in Central Park. So far, we put this out. We haven't got any phone calls. We're still seeking the public's help with this. Again, it's just a few blocks out of the 2-8 precinct in Central Park. If we get any help, we'd appreciate it very much. And lastly, we have an active burglary pattern, 4 commercial burglaries in and around 7th and 8th Avenue in the 2-8 precinct. These are very good still images. As you can see the camera, they try to conceal their identity by wearing their hoods, but we get pretty good close-ups as we go forward. This is a 4-case pattern that's active right now. We're seeking the public's help. Thank you very much.
All those available to the
All of those will be available to you. I know with the glare it's a little tough for some of the cameras, but for your purposes they'll all be available to you. With that, we can open up for questions on topic relative to what we're doing here this morning. A specific benefit is the idea of having this right at the scene of a crime and being able to push out very quickly information to the public, so even after the crime has occurred for hours thereafter. Bob is much more specific, if you will, information on that. He's he and his detectives, the principal beneficiary. So Bob, if you want to speak to that, please.
Just important to put out that we put it on the evening news every night through the help of the media. It's been a tremendous bonus for us. We have, so far in the first quarter of this year, 2015, We have information on 6 homicides and 2 attempted murders, 7 non-fatal shootings, 17 robberies with 5 additional bank robberies, 3 felony assaults, 4 attempted rapes, 6 grand larcenies, and 71 other cases throughout the city. That's only in the first 3 months of this year. So we do very well each night on the evening news. What we want to do, the plan is to bring things out into the public directly after an incident and see if we can get people who live in the neighborhood to identify from us. This video piece right here will go a long way. So you can imagine the next night or even on the same day, this van pulling up, showing images that we just downloaded from nearby cameras to a community that walks by there every day. That's the point of this, and it's, we expect great things from it. Those are information on cases, Rocco, that helped solve the case. Yes.
You asked the question about the cost. The cost is about $90,000 for the total vehicle. All of that supplied through the generosity of the Police Foundation and the principal donor that we already referenced. I'd like to, just for a moment, that in addition to the Crime Stop of information, we're also able to utilize this vehicle for some of our community development, relationships with development with our various communities. So I'd like to just briefly show you, it's about a 90-second clip that was recently produced by the Police Foundation that would be an example of how else we could use this vehicle when we're out at a community event, also at a crime scene for that matter. So if that's all scrolled up, ready to go. This is also provided by the Police Foundation. Greg, is there audio with this?
Yes, there is.
Our crime expert, our crime guru.
Presently, we have 6 people identified.
Yes, is beginning with FaceTime.
I'll try not to do that, sir. Presently, we've identified 6 people, including the victim, unfortunately. We're trying to define exactly what that was. We have a good inclination of what that is and what happened there. It was part of a robbery in a certain criminal situation. We're not ready to give out too much more than that because we have people we're speaking to right now.
What was taken from the robbery?
A safe was taken from the room. We believe it was safe. That's missing from the room right now. We don't know the contents of that safe.
Was the victim a guest there?
Yes, he was. Paying guest.
Lisa?
Once again, I'll rely on Bob to. I haven't had my briefing this morning with him yet, so I'm getting that this afternoon.
That's an active investigation.
Before I am, actually, today.
We're trying to find people, and people are calling. We got a lot of information, not only from social media, but phone calls as well. Brought a lot of people in. And we're getting a lot of information from the hip-hop community, from social media sites, any conflicts this individual may have had. I do not have an eyeball witness right now to that scene, so we're trying to get the cars that were involved as we go forward. A lot of video download is going on right now out in that section of Queens on Main Street.
So you have surveillance video?
We don't have it yet. We're still looking for it. We have his movements tracked where he was, as been released before, the Red Wolf Club and over to the Hookah Lounge, and then directly thereafter. So there's kind of like a timeline what we're setting up to see who he was with each time. So long-term investigation. Right now I have no new leads in the case to tell us who the shooter was.
Will you be putting a Crime Stoppers banner up there?
We sure will. We did recover 12 shell casings from the crime scene, all fired from the same gun. So we have one shooter in that situation. That Crime Stop van will be out there tonight.
Chief, do you believe it happened on Queens Boulevard, actually on Queens Boulevard?
Main Street, from what I understand. All right, and again, he is not from that area. That location brought him to that area. He has most of his family ties are in Far Rockaway. Excuse me.
Do you think he was lured to that area before the shooting, or was he there just with friends?
The information we have right now is that he was with friends going to that lounge. That was closed by the time they got there.
Chief, do you have any using license plate readers to get any intelligence from that?
All that data is being collected now, Tony.
Is there any other technology that we should know about?
There's a hookup to the real-time crime center, and that's important to put forth. So everything comes out of real-time crime can come right here. So we don't have to download anything. It can be sent here, and we put the video out that way. Those are things that we didn't have before.
Chief, you mentioned there were 12 shell casings now. Originally there were only 3 found. Where were those other 9 found? And are they
On the scene. I don't know where you got the 3 from, but they were on the scene as well, the 12 shell casings, all from a 9mm handgun from the same gun.
Talking about videotaping, I know you've got an assault at McDonald's and a videotaper was arrested for inciting riot. Can you share the details of that?
Sure.
The video might help people take things.
We have 3 arrests on that, and we expect another one. Do we have that video? No, we don't have it? Okay. Well, that happened over in Brooklyn. It didn't happen in 2-8. It happened in the 8-8. Right now, we're parsing through the investigation. We've identified 3 individuals and arrested them, 2 of which are from East New York, Brooklyn, and the other person is from Sand Street, and it's close by. All right, we're trying to define exactly what happened. It was after school, and it looked like a fight between 2 females who squared off, and others when another gentleman who tried to break it up was assaulted by 2 other individuals. One we have in custody.
What do you claim the videotaper was doing that did you take him in
I think if you heard the audio, I think it's pretty evident what he was doing.
charges,
Inciting a riot. Now, New York State penal law means you have to have 4 people to incite a riot. We have 3 in custody now. We're looking for a 4th one. And we'll have that individual out today. He's got his shirt off, and I'm sure you saw it, with a big tattoo on his left breast. So that's the last person we're looking for that incident. Yeah. We have 8 cases, and some of which are home invasions where he pushed his way in. We have a singular individual. We put out video on that. He's a hooded individual. First one happened on February 15th, and then the second one happens in the middle of April. So there's a long span in between there. He is armed with a handgun. It is in a small, confined area in East Flatbush in the 6-7. We'll be out there tonight. We believe he's a burglar, a career burglar who carries a gun with him. And it picks up steam, this case, in the middle of April into the first week in May. So that's where we are with the case right now. Again, it's not far from Brookdale Hospital. It's just south of there in the 90s in East Flatbush. We'll be loaded up tonight with there to see if we can find out get information on this individual. Yeah, that's the danger here. It's real danger because he assaulted one of the women in the home. So this is unusual. We don't have this. This is a very unusual crime and a very unusual pattern located in a very small area of Brooklyn. That's actually, that part of the 6-7 is a low crime area. So it's a little unusual. We'll have a lot of resources out there tonight to see if we can bring this guy in.
Are you going to get information to find the suspect that's wanted for any assault on the Dallas?
I will have that information for you tonight. I have him identified. We're seeking him now. He's been identified about a week or so. And we'll see if we can get him in. His name is El Amin Abanya. He is a career criminal. We believe he has fled the state. So we'll put that image out tonight for you, see if we can get him in. What's shooting?
I don't think it's was there a fight in the club and assess cooperation with any of the survivors?
Right now, we don't have anybody not cooperating. There is no fight in the club. We got that from numerous sources, both from security. He did have a security person with him at the time, not in that car. Mr. Pickens was driving the vehicle, something he usually doesn't do, but he was driving that night.
He usually drives?
He does not usually drive, from what we're told.
Have you found a security person?
We do. We have. We've spoken to them as well.
Dean, last one.
Yeah, he's intubated. He's fairly, he's in a bad state. He'll make it, but we haven't talked to him, no, because of his intubation.
Last one, Dean.
Are you concerned about this shooting? I mean, a lot of people may have heard of Chase before the rapper, but he's well known for his kind of dating the Kardashians. They're tweeting about this. Are you concerned about this imagery of a rapper being shot in the city we went through this years ago?
We certainly are. There's always the issue of retaliation in these things. So far, we haven't got that from the media. Right now, a lot of people are asking questions more than giving information. So as we drill down in the investigation, we'll find out more. But again, it happened Sunday. Sunday morning, we're still trying to find out more information as we go forward.
Okay, thank you, folks. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Commissioner.
CPI, please do note now.
All of them.
There you go. Yeah, whatever somebody.
We all set? Everybody set? Very good. All set? All right, thank you for joining us this morning. I want to introduce a number of the people that are here behind me. To my left are a number of our community partners very actively engaged with the precinct. I'd like to identify Reverend Vernon Williams. We have Jackie Rowe Adams from the Harlem Mothers Saves. Willie Walker from the Harlem State. We have Aman Suleiman Konate. We have Anthony Baker from the 25th Street Business Improvement District. And we have Jake McGee, President of the 28th Precinct Community Council. Thank you all for, as always, being with us this morning. Thank you. Additionally, behind me are a number of people that have been very actively engaged in the development of the new Crime Stoppers van. Allow me to introduce some of them. We have Member President and Greg Roberts,